What's up, YouTube? In this video, I want to talk about a specific subject, try to talk about it very quickly, and that is a Christian idea that the Bible says that woman is to be helper of man, and a lot of people seem to take issue with that because they believe that means that helper um, um, they think that means like slave. So what okay, so I'm already bombing, but I'll just keep grinding through it because I just need to not bomb. So a lot of people have an issue with the helper thing. So I'm here to give my take on what helper is and why it's like super fundamentally important that we, what is the word? Think of helper. Not change the definition of like what a woman is to um, make them the same as man because I believe women need to be women. And the helper, I think we need to change our focus on if helper is good or not. Um, I would argue that being a helper, is like the single most important thing a man could need. And that means that helper is like in embracing being a helper to man, that a woman is glorified as well, and a man is glorified as well. Because when you bring a man and a woman come together and form that marriage relationship or that bond, then you get something that is close to heaven on earth as possible. A helper is translated from Hebrew to mean Ezer, which has multiple nuances, multiple semantic meanings to mean rescuer, savior, etc. So helper has a holiness to it, a sanctification to it. But for a realistic example, I want to go into my realistic example I wrote down here. So I would describe women as the great multiplier of man. And in their helping, that's what a multiplier would be, like a helper. So what I mean is that like if a man is a two and that woman is a good multiplier, two times two is four. You know what I mean? So instead of just a partnership, which you could look at as an addition, it wouldn't be a merging. It wouldn't be a multiplication because you can't have two business partners who are, you know, not in that same marriage style relationship be a multiplier. They're only a partnership and they can join their efforts and add their efforts together, but it wouldn't be in the same thing because you couldn't have that level of intimacy with two business partners. So that's why I'm saying it's more of an addition instead of a multiplication. So 2 plus 2 is 4. But also then if a man is 2 and a woman is a 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, but 2 times 3 is 6. And you're starting to see where I'm going here. So a man in all of its, in his quote unquote glory, um, the strengths of a man without the helper. Every man has an Achilles heel, and the helper is the covering for that Achilles heel. So, for instance, I'm going to use myself as an example. One of the things I would say I'm very great at, the thing that makes me stand out from other people is my ability to generate ideas, to talk. I'm very in my I'm very creative, so I like come up with a lot of fantasies, a lot of different ideas. I have a lot of idea generation and a lot of different ideas that potentially could benefit people or me or my family and stuff like that. But then where this is going to kind of sound weird, but the multiplication comes from in this is that if I didn't have my woman to in contrast, she is very grounded. She's very day to day. She's very realistic. Um, Not I don't want to say cynical, but like doesn't avoid. She sees the other side, but when you're thinking of ideas, it's easy to forget that there is another side of ideas. And every great thing, there's life is all trade offs. So she tethers me, is what I'm saying. We'll have a conversation. I'll talk to her. I always feed all of my ideas to her. I feed them all to her because I know she's going to give me um, a real, down to earth point of view that's going to challenge my ideas and force me to figure some like constraints out, figure out that, you know what I mean? It makes it real. It brings me back to reality because like I when I think of an idea, I only see the end result, but I don't see the thousands of steps that go in between, and I don't see the first obstacles that are going to get in my way. And if I go running full speed, and this has happened to me many times, if I go running full speed into an idea without any caution, I hit the first few obstacles, and then I get really upset because the expectations then plummet me down to zero, that this isn't possible. But when I talk them out with my woman, she like gives me those right away, and it brings me back to reality, and then I can still see the goal, but I can see the obstacles too. And when you put those two, you merge those two perspectives together, you know, the idea and like the, I don't know what to call the other part. I call it the tethering. It tethers me to reality, and it makes like a version of what I was thinking of now. Like, here's what I was thinking of in my head, and then it changes it a little bit, and it still is like, it allows me to actually weigh pros and cons and see if, like, you know, form a hierarchy of what ideas are worth pursuing and what ideas are not worth pursuing, or just cool ideas, and just kind of put them down, and maybe some other inspiration will come later to then fix that idea and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, in doing so, I've like done so many like great things. I think like I've completed projects, though they may not be that important to you, but to me they've brought me very much joy, very much peace, and a lot more success rate. So that's my commentary for today in the Christianity, just to pump up women and pump up helpers and servants and stuff like that. Just in, you know what I mean? Like, you may not be as like strong or fast or whatever, but your role is so important, or else you wouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? If you, you know what I mean? Look at anything in the animal kingdom, and if it's not important, it wouldn't exist. That's why animals go extinct. They become so unimportant compared to the environment they are in, because the environment destroys them, and women and males need each other tremendously. And if, without my woman, I would have nothing. So that's it. God bless, and see you in the next video.